Welcome to the Puff and Run podcast show, your number one source for news, information about marijuana and running, the latest updates on the 420 cross-country team, and races around the nation, and behind the scenes details of the Puff and Run TV web series production schedule. Bringing you all the news and more, here's your host, the Vegas 420 Runner.
Welcome to the Puff and Run podcast show. I am your host, the Vegas 420 Runner, and I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of this podcast thing. Alright, well, let's get on into it. It's episode number 4, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't anticipate the episodes 2 and 3 breaking down to a two-part to be continued type episode. And anyway, it went down pretty good. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much, but I did want to give you guys a thorough going over of my most significant races. If you guys remember, in the last podcast, I spoke about my first 5K, 10K, 30K, or half marathon, 30K, marathon, 50K, and 50 miler, and some of my triathlons. So those are some of the milestones that we covered in the previous episode. Anyways, this episode is all about REDEFINE cannabis. For those of you who've been tuning in since the beginning, you remember when I gave a quick overview of the upcoming episodes, I didn't really mention REDEFINE cannabis, but after thinking about it, I thought this may be very important. So I thought this episode, I'll go ahead and break down REDEFINE cannabis and what that's all about and give you guys the details on that. So let's get into it. As you guys may know, I did my undergrad at Nevada State College in Henderson, Nevada, and I graduated from there the summer of last year, May 2016. Anyhow, prior to that, I started getting into the cannabis conversation in the fall of 2014. Fall 2014, I started getting into the cannabis conversation and incorporating cannabis into my classroom assignments and projects, and seeing how I could work it into my curriculum. And so I did that in several ways. One of the ways is I took a Photoshop class. It was something more descriptive than that, but essentially it was a Photoshop class. So I did a business card project with that was promoting a documentary that I had planned to be doing, which I'm still doing, but anyhow, it's promoting a documentary with that business card. So I, got my first little taste of Photoshop, put together a cannabis business card. It ended up being selected to be placed on display on campus for the entire following semester, and there was a giant pot leaf on it. So I thought that was a significant accomplishment, having them select the business card artwork with the giant pot leaf on it to place on display on campus for an entire semester. I was very proud. But and let's see what else. Well, the main one, let's just get down to it. The main one, I took an Intro to Public Relations class. Okay? And, it was two main ones. The Intro to Public Relations class, where I started learning all about public relations. Now, at the time, I was a visual media and communications major, interdisciplinary study, visual media and communications major. And a lot of people that were studying visual media at that school are intending to go on to make feature films, maybe go to Hollywood, California, and do like long movies and scripts and acting and stuff like that. That's not really what I was interested in. So even before that, I had already turned my attention a little bit toward the documentary side of the industry, of the film industry, and I was interested in documentaries. I started getting interested in a little bit of news, journalism, broadcasting type stuff. I still wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. I can't remember what semester it was, but somewhere around then I took an Intro to Public Relations. and I started seeing all the different things that these public relations people get to do. It just ranged from public speaking to creating a campaign to promote a item or product, or a brand, to event planning and event coordinating, to press releases, and that was all things that I like to do. I like to write, so press releases, I thought that was cool. I like to make speeches and do public speaking, so I thought that was cool. I like to do all that kind of stuff. I like to see my work featured in magazines and newspapers and stuff, and a lot of PR is soliciting media hits, and I like to see my stuff in the media, so I like to solicit media hits. And so that's when I really started thinking, hey, this public relations thing really might be just what I'm looking for, because I'm not really trying to go into the film or the television thing, even though I do make a lot of videos and stuff. It's more for fun. It's more of a hobby. In a perfect world, I would have a camera crew. I would have a crew of people that, with good skills that I could just pay to do the filming that I need and want. A lot of times I end up doing filming and making videos myself simply out of necessity. Because there's nobody else that has the time or whatever. I might not be able to afford to pay somebody, or might not be in the budget. So a lot of times I make the video out of necessity. So anyways, I started saying, hey, you know what? Public relations, I like this kind of thing. I already saw the marijuana industry coming to Nevada. So it started bubbling in my mind, like, they are going to need some PR. From there, around this same time, if you guys recall, I was becoming the the 420 runner. In January 2015, I made my debut as the 420 runner. A small part of the backstory on that was that the previous semester, fall 2014, I took an independent study class, and the deliverable at the end of the class was a proposal to do a documentary on the marijuana industry and the opening of the dispensaries in Las Vegas. So for one semester, I reached out, I did networking, and I made all these kind of plans to make this documentary. I put together this proposal and this presentation about why I should make a documentary in January when all the dispensaries in Las Vegas open up. Now from there, let me think. Put together this. So I got approved for the following semester, January 2015. I got approved to make the documentary, take another independent study class where I actually do the production portion of the project. The proposal was approved. Unfortunately, in January, the marijuana dispensaries did not open as I had anticipated, promised, and guaranteed all of my professors that they would, and it just didn't happen. And I began to realize that, they may not open as soon as I had anticipated or as soon as many people believed. So I immediately shifted gears and began brainstorming projects. One of the projects I came up with was the 420 Runner, a cannabis athlete that promotes cannabis for rest and recovery, et cetera, all the stuff that the 420 Runner does. And so that's when I flipped my current website /vlog/blog, Your Favorite Endurance Athlete, I switched it into the 420 Runner, which essentially became the first actual campaign of my PR stuff. So anyhow, now around that same time, I believe I'm going into my so the 420 Runner came out. Wait, let me go back here. The 420 Runner, came out. Yeah, that's January 2015. I really got to think about this. Yeah, so that's January 2015. Yeah, and so now, so anyways, the blog ended up being a big success. Oh wait, no, the 420 Runner came out. Excuse me, guys. That's January 2016. Wait, no, that's January 2015. Yeah, that's January 2015. That's when the 420 Runner comes out. I do not end up making the the documentary as anticipated. Now, later that year, August 2015, the dispensaries opened up. Okay, the dispensaries are opening up. Now, that same semester, guys, please forgive me with the timing. If you're in college, you may make sense of this because of the semester things, but fall semester is usually September through or August through December, and spring semester is January through May. Okay, if that helps you guys in any ways. But around the same time, basically, because all my transcripts are getting mixed up in my head, but essentially around the same time, I also took a logo and brand designing class, and our part of our project was to come up with a logo, a brand brief, and like all the aesthetic components of designing a brand. Okay, at the same time, I guess, or around that same time, give or take a semester or so, in the Intro to Public Relations class, one of our assignments was to put together a public relations firm and put together a campaign and all this stuff. So I ended up, for that assignment, I put together the High Performance Public Relations, which is like a mock PR firm that I put together with all the different components and all the different variables that I needed to make a PR firm, and this was for a school assignment. Later on, when I did the logo and corporate brand design class, all the design components I put together for the High Performance Public Relations. So that was like my first, I had all the components, the letterhead, logo, the black and white logo, the icon. I had to put all this stuff together, and I put it together with my public relations company that I made for my PR class. Now, once I had all these components, it became very obvious that I was onto something here and that I need to go ahead and make this legit. So shortly thereafter, I started thinking about high performance, looking at the future and all that stuff, and thinking, is this what I want to launch with? Is this how I want to get out there and put my name out there with? How's this going to work? Because I started not to like it as much. I just wanted to keep it for a school assignment. So I ended up changing the name to Redefine Cannabis. Okay, and in the logo, if you guys see, it's Redefine Cannabis, but the DE is sometimes just the outline, whereas RE is the letters filled in, and FINE is the letters filled in, and cannabis just says cannabis. So it could also read as Refine Cannabis, but it's Redefine Cannabis, and we're redefining cannabis and those who use it by way of athletics and academics. Redefine Cannabis, redefining cannabis and those who use it by athletics and academics. So a big part of that is me using my personal life story as an ultramarathoner and triathlete to help dispel or debunk the myth of the lazy stoner. I also use my transcripts and all the academic success and scholarships that I've received in undergrad to help, change that story and show that, cannabis doesn't have to have a negative effect on your academic performance. In fact, it's quite enhanced mine. And so that's when we started putting together the site. Now, you may be thinking, what does athletics and academic performance, how do you make these connections? And I'm sure you've never been to the site, which is redefinecannabis.com. So check it out when you get a chance. Well, let's start. I guess we can go tab by tab. I don't have the website in front of me, but I worked on it so much, I pretty much got things that know where everything is going. So, okay, first we have academics. That's the first tab. And when you click the academic drop-down tab, it'll give you different options that you could click on. And the first few options, I think, or some of the options under that tab are about getting your brand onto certain college campuses. Okay, some college campuses offer like a buy a brick program. Perhaps you want to, and this is going out to the, this is for cannabis businesses to take advantage of. Some of the campuses offer a brick that you could write your brand or your logo on. You could write something, best wishes to your campus from such and such dispensary, and just kind of get your name out on the campus and start with something small like that. We have another option where you can get your brand out there into the academic world by putting together a scholarship for the nursing students, the Nevada Student Nurses Association. And what that gives you the ability to do is you get to draft up the criteria for the scholarship. So if a cannabis brand might say, a student interested in studying more about how cannabis and the medical effects, write an essay on that. And then, they're going to get 20, 30, or more 100 essays on that from all these different students, and they'll get the scholarship and your name goes into this nursing stuff. There's more details on the website with that. That's another option. Or, for example, I work with the UNLV student newspaper, the Scarlet and Gray Free Press. Maybe you want to advertise your brand in there, and all you got to do is shoot me an email, Duval@redefinecannabis.com. And by the way, my name is Deuvall, Duval. I go by the Vegas 420 runner, but some people call me Duval, Deuvall @redefinecannabis.com. That's my email. So if you want to take advantage of any of those opportunities, please shoot me an email. And if you can't remember how to spell my name, you can always put info@redefinecannabis.com. Again, that's info, INFO, @redefinecannabis.com. Both those emails work. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, but I do want to make sure I get all of this out in the allotted time for each episode. So we're coming up on 20 minutes here, and I try to finish between 20 and 30 minutes. Anyhow, let me see if I can remember what the heck I was saying. So Redefine Cannabis, yeah, so now you can advertise your brand on campus like that. Now the other aspects, the other tabs under the academic tab that you can click on, we have academic conferences, and all of this whole Redefine Cannabis site is going to kind of be reformatted because the drop-down menus are entirely too long. So we're going to drop it down. So basically we'll have all those few categories I just mentioned to advertise your brand. Those will just be like brand advertising or something, and then all those options will be in there. So next we'll have conferences, academic conferences. Now I do a lot of academic conferences and presentations on marijuana, just particularly about the employment opportunities that college graduates may have in the future if they take advantage of the cannabis industry, and how they can, build a career. Almost every field of study at these colleges is going to be offering some type of career options in the cannabis industry. So I try to alert people to that fact. I also did presentations about kind of the vote that was taking place here in Nevada last year for the legalization of recreational marijuana, adult use marijuana, and I did some presentations on that and how I've been able to incorporate marijuana into my academic studies and my academic experience by just weaving it into my classroom assignments, my classroom projects, talking about it with my professors. The idea is I really want other students to begin to do the same thing as well. This is one thing that we like to highlight, students that incorporate cannabis themes into their projects and assignments. Now from there, let me see if I can remember where I was at. Redefine. Oh yeah, so that's the conferences and stuff. So there you can see all the conferences. We're trying to put at least the audio up of those conferences, and you can see kind of the information about it. I did take several marijuana classes here in Nevada. So the classes that I took and some of the material that came from those classes, such as a Prezi or such as a quick little video, a description, a course description, a note from the professor, etc. can be found on the Redefine Cannabis Academic tab drop-down menu. And lastly, but certainly not least, the student organization. Students are organizing multiple campuses here in Nevada, and here you can find out little videos about what they/we have been up to, what we've been doing over the past couple of years that we've been promoting cannabis on the college campuses. So you can go and see that. Now, next to the academic tab, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but let's say we go to athletics. In the athletic tab, it has the drop-down menu. You can find out more about the Vegas 420 runner, exactly who I am. You can find out about the 420 cross-country team and exactly what it is we do. And remember, all the details on that are on 420crosscountry.org. Again, that's 420crosscountry.org. If you do type in 420crosscountry.com, it's going to send you to the Redefine Cannabis website, which is fine too. You just got to click on the cross country tab to figure out how to get to cross country. The thing is that I just acquired 420crosscountry.org and 420crosscountry.com, and the only thing was I bought the .org, and that's on the Wix website. And please leave comments. I know that it's not like the most highly approved Wix website. I mean, Wix isn't the most highly approved, but I like it better than WordPress, even though everybody's so high on WordPress. And anyways, the 420.com was bought on WordPress, and the only thing is I cannot redirect it to the .org website for the first 60 days. So around April 22nd, I will be redirecting 420crosscountry.com to the 420crosscountry.org website. But we chose to go with .org because we are an organization. Okay, so under the athletic tab in the drop-down menu, you can find out about 420 Cross Country as well. You can look at the schedule. We have a large schedule for this year for racing. My personal schedule is on there. It doesn't always coordinate with 420 Cross Country schedule, but that shows my personal schedule. And also the 420 Cross Country schedule is on 420crosscountry.org, but they pretty much line up. For the main part, we're doing the 420 Games tour, where we plan to go to each of the 420 games in all 6 states, all 8 420 Games events in all 6 states throughout the year. It's approximately one 420 Games event per month, which is perfect. So we talk a little bit about that. Let me think. Okay, now after the athletic tab, and there may be some other stuff on there about athletics. Now from there, we got the films tab, and this pretty much highlights 3 particular films that we are working on right now. One is Runner's High, which is pretty much done and wrapped and in the can, and so we're already screening that. It recently got accepted to the Las Vegas Black Film Festival at the last weekend of April, and should be screening there. And so that's one film that we're submitting everywhere. Another one, the 420-pound weight loss champion. This is about Mr. Run to Improve. Check him out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Run to Improve. One of my good friends, fellow runner, started at over 420 pounds, is now down, chasing his dreams down to 200 pounds, so now he's down at 270 or something, but he's a huge inspiration. He's out there getting it in every day, every night, keeps me motivated, and I like watching his videos and stuff like that. So he's a super cool guy, guys. Check him out. You'll see him in a lot of my videos and photos. He's the biggest online supporter that I have at this point, and he's really doing his thing. So, yeah, the 420-pound weight loss champion. If you go to the website, you can see essentially what's the trailer to a longer documentary about him, but it's a very interesting short film about his journey with weight loss. And again, if you guys remember, I mentioned that I was the very first guest on the Run to Improve podcast. Again, I'm going to try to put the link to that in below so you guys can switch to that podcast if you want to hear that. because he's a lot better host than I am. He doesn't just ramble on and rant about his running history. He actually has significant questions and does an interview, and I'm trying to learn how to be a good podcaster from him. So yeah, so that film is there, and then there's another film, the one that I began working on about the cannabis industry in Nevada. I did go ahead and end up filming Chapter 1, and so we have the beginning of that film out. I do have some other footage for Chapter 2, and Chapter 3 is basically the conclusion and the aftermath, which I need to go out and film again. Because the film was done for my final project, Chapter 1 was completed for my final project, I did have to devote a significant amount of time to that. But now that I'm actually in graduate school studying for my master's degree and I'm working on all these other projects, I don't have time to continue working on that film to complete Chapter 2 and 3 without the help from an executive producer, because I got to worry about paying a lot of bills and all this other stuff. I am also I am looking for an executive producer. We have a significant amount of footage about everything that went on before, during, and even after the legalization here in Nevada. We got tons and tons and hours of footage, but we just don't have time to go through it and put something together. But we are looking for an executive producer that might be interested in taking on a project of that magnitude. So anyway, some of the details of that film are there, I believe. Oh, and then we got this other film that we'd like to be a student organization, about putting together Nevada's first student cannabis organization. For those of you who know me, there was a significant amount of backlash, and we were denied official recognition, and we will get into that in future episodes, I'm sure. If I ever run out of things to talk about, I have plenty of backstory that we need to cover to bring the audience all the way up to speed. So hopefully I'll be able to incorporate like one backstory per episode and anything like that. Eventually the episodes will get longer because they're going to be including commercial breaks and words from our sponsors. So the podcast may eventually grow to be, between 45 minutes to an hour. It really depends on the listeners, and I'm hoping to use the analytics to determine how long people stay. If people leave early now, I won't really take it to heart, because I am just rambling and ranting about my past, but I promise you the show will become a lot more interesting as we begin traveling around the country and the world with a lot more exciting breaking developments. Anyways, there's only a few minutes left, so let me just finish running this off. So there goes the films. In the most important tab, media. You can see all the media hits that we've generated over the past couple of years. Several magazines, podcasts, newspapers, radio shows, all of that. They've been covering the Vegas 420 Runner and REDEFINE Cannabis, and if you go there, you can find out everything that we're doing. One of the things that REDEFINE Cannabis does is help identify students that are putting together college-themed projects, and we help to nominate Students of the Month in Vegas Cannabis Magazine. And so if you go on our media tab, you can see all the media hits we've gotten in Vegas Cannabis Magazine, and most of those contain a student of the month who's been working with a student organization or has cannabis-themed projects, and you want to go in and find out about those students, because they really are the next leaders of tomorrow. I'm happy to be calling them my colleagues and associates. In addition to that, we have a survey tab. So if you want to take the survey, if you're a general person that just likes sports or something like that, you could take a survey. Or if you're actually a runner, and the criteria for being a runner is on there. I think it's like 1 or 2 5Ks per year or more. And if you're a runner, you can take that running survey. We have a college survey, but it's not out yet, but it's coming soon. And then lastly, I think the blog, yes. Now, this is very popular. We just started this blog in 2017. We're filling the blog up with entries from industry insiders out of Las Vegas, and also we also incorporate blogs from student leaders. We've got Melody Jane. You want to check out her blog. Melody Jane, she's doing her thing. We got Tori. Tori Sheridan, forgive me if I said the name wrong. Tori, he's doing his thing. Student leader, these are the student leaders putting things out. We got Katri Saunders with the Source Dispensary. She's doing her thing. Industry Insider. We got, and we also have Matthias, Matthew Nelson, doing his thing. He's a scientist specializing in cannabis and edibles. I'm not exactly sure what he does, but we're gonna get more. We're gonna hear more from him, I'm sure. Anyways, that's the basic rundown of Redefine Cannabis. It doesn't really do it justice, but as you can see, we got some films out. We got the 420 cross country team. We're trying to do some cutting edge things. We're got the student organization stuff going. Now, all these tabs in the drop down menus, you can find videos of the things that I am talking about. So go check out those videos, short little clips and stuff like that. I think you guys will enjoy them. And remember, that's redefinecannabis.com, where we're redefining cannabis and those who use it by way of athletics and academics. Also check out 420crosscountry.org. Find out about our upcoming races, like the 420 Games. Check out 420games.org. Big shout out to MJ Fitnut. They're also doing their thing. Avery Collins, salute. Keep up the good work. And, you know, these are basically, I'm going to be giving shout outs to all the official cannabis runners, you know, as much as I can remember. MJ Fitnut, Avery Collins, 420 Games, all that good stuff. So, anyways, guys, check out all that stuff when you get the chance. Thanks for tuning in. This show, it did go a little bit longer than anticipated, but I hope you guys kind of got a little bit of background on how I got into all of this. And please, please, always type your questions in the comments. I do want to be transparent and kind of let you guys know everything that I'm up to. I don't have any sponsors yet. I don't have any commercial breaks yet, but I think all of that is coming. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And I try to do more than I promise you. Once you guys get fully updated and brought up to speed to where we are today, the show will become a lot more interesting. Eventually, it's just going to be, after the first 10 episodes, I think I'm going to release hopefully 4 or 5 at once, and then 4 or 5, 4 or 5 days in a row, and one every, and then after that, I'm going to go to a once-a-week model. Every Monday, I plan to put out an episode every Monday. After episode, between 8 and 10 will all come out, the first week or two, but then after that, it'll be every Monday, and there'll be a lot more substance. It won't feel rushed, and I want to just make all that stuff clear. Anyways, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I hope this thing's been recorded. And that's how I got involved with the public relations in cannabis. There's the story. You heard it here first. Vegas 420 runner. Over and out.